Racewatch 12 with Cade Heidemann is brought to you by Builder Service and Menke GMC Mazda.
A few weeks ago, Martin Truex Jr. announced his retirement from full-time competition effective at the end of 2024, leaving open a major opportunity for a driver to fill his seat in the number 19 Camry. With 4 big names also out of a job at the end of this year with the closure of Stewart-Haas Racing looming, the chance to run with Gibbs in 2025 would effectively be a golden ticket to a brighter future. The current driver of the SHR-14, Chase Briscoe, has been offered a deal to drive the 19 car next year with Bass Pro Shops remaining as a sponsor. To some, this comes as no surprise when at Loudon a couple weeks ago, Christopher Bell accidentally dropped this news at a press conference.
Role in that aspect, and whenever Chase comes into the car.
Now with the news officially confirmed, Chase had this to say about how the deal came to be with the coach.
And Joe's like, hey, I want you to know how bad I want you to be at our place. Like, we think you're an amazing fit. We looked at your Xfinity stats and, what you've been able to do in the Cup car, and we just really think you would be a great fit for our place.
Chase also went on to say that he had serious talks with the Wood brothers about driving the 21 Mustang, and that Gibbs felt he needed to move quick to secure Briscoe before the Woods had a chance to. As of now, the Wood brothers have yet to sign anyone for the 2025 season. The Truck Series made their return to Nashville Superspeedway after an almost month-long hiatus. There wasn't really any current Cup guys here to mix things up, but there was one from Cup Series past. Clint Boyer was at Nashville in the Spire 7 truck, taking on the track that delivered him his first National Series win. Stuart Friesen starts off from the pole here, but outside of turn 2, that lead is already gone at the hands of Christian Eckes. Then, just as quick as the race began, the first caution is out for multiple trucks sent up high into the wall. The entire first stage of this race would be about the racing lower in the field because Christian Eckes couldn't be caught. The 19 takes the first green and white of the day. The start of stage 2, Taylor Gray gets sent around before he even gets to turn 1. Also in this restart, Clint Boyer suffers some front-end damage that essentially ends his day. The rivalry of the night went to Stephen Parsons and Lane Riggs. Stephen was racing Lane rough all day, and Lane finally had enough when the 38 dumped the 75 down the back. As a result, NASCAR parked the 38 for 2 laps, taking him out of contention. The rest of this race went for the most part green, with no one having anything for Christian Eckes. He led every single lap of this race to the checkered flag for win number 3 this season. A dominant performance like we saw in the trucks would be a much harder result to replicate one tier up in the Xfinity Series. Ty Gibbs, John Hunter Nemechek, Noah Gragson, Tyler Reddick, and Ross Chastain all dropped down to run double, with Gibbs leading the field to green alongside Cole Custer. The 19 and 00 stayed door-to-door for 2 whole laps when Gibbs finally got the advantage. Gibbs had the car to beat early on. His lead wasn't challenged all of stage 1, taking it with a 2.5 over AJ Allmendinger. The JGR dominance didn't stop there, but stage 2 wasn't all Ty Gibbs. It was instead John Hunter Nemechek who ran away with it, taking the green and white with 2 seconds over AJ Allmendinger. At the start of stage 3, Nemechek looked to run away again, but Cole Custer got his revenge on the 20, shooting down the front for the lead. Nemechek fell another spot to AJ Allmendinger, and now the 16 is charging towards Custer. He won't get to catch him under green, though, when Justin Allgaier gets into the back of Ty Gibbs, sending the 19 into the wall and creating a caution. On this restart, it all falls apart for Custer when he slides up too high in turn 2, leaving the door open for Nemechek to take that lead back. The race from here ran green the rest of the way through, with John Hunter Nemechek taking the 20 car to victory lane at Nashville. Now we head to the Cup Series Ally 400, where a new qualifying format put Josh Berry on the front row alongside pole sitter Denny Hamlin. Hamlin makes short work of Berry, with the only driver able to keep pace with the 11 being his teammate Christopher Bell. Stage 1 would almost exclusively be between these two. Midway through, Bell gets around Hamlin, and he's going to be able to hold that spot to the green and white for the stage win. Stage 2 would be all Bell for the first half of it, but as he's getting into the groove, the weather presented itself a problem when the race would get put on hold for the 2nd week in a row due to rain. Just 10 laps shy of being able to call the race official, NASCAR had no choice but to wait it out. When the race went green again, Bell picked up right where he left off, winning stage 2 with a half a second on Tyler Reddick. Bell's race couldn't have been going any better for him. That is until 75 to go when he gets loose in a turn, ending up in a wall and destroying his front toe link, evening out the playing field just a little bit. Later on, tempers flared just as they had in the truck race when Carson Hocevar outright dumps Harrison Burton under caution. NASCAR didn't issue an in-race penalty, and if any action will be taken by NASCAR, it would likely be announced on Tuesday. Jumping forward towards the end of this race, Ross Chastain looks to go back-to-back at Nashville, fending off Denny Hamlin with 7 to go. Hamlin clears Chastain just before a yellow comes out for Austin Cindric, meaning we're headed into overtime. This first attempt does not go Chastain's way when Kyle Larson makes contact with the one's rear quarter, sending him into the wall, ending his race. This creates a massive pileup, which is bad for Denny Hamlin as he was already running on fumes. The rest of this race suddenly became a game of who saved the most fuel. Denny won't get back to the white flag before another massive wreck creates another yellow. Triple overtime now, and they won't even make it across the line when another yellow comes out for a stack up on the outside line, all because Kyle Larson ran out of gas and couldn't launch off. This caution will force a lot of the front-running drivers down pit road for fuel, meaning we now have Joey Logano and Chase Briscoe leading the field to green for quadruple overtime. They still won't make it back to the white flag as Josh Berry gets sent into the wall. We are now headed to a record-setting quintuple overtime. And it is this time that Joey Logano is able to clear Chase Briscoe, make it to the white flag, and have enough gas to go one more time around the track for his first points-paying win of the season. For Racewatch 12, I'm Cade Heidemann.